I think the last thing we'll probably go over just because of time restraints and I gotta be up at 5 a.m. Sarah and we have been playing Cold War.
I just only played the campaign.
Go ahead and give your thoughts, Sarah.
I need to play the campaign too.
I have no fucks about anything else. Just a heads up, I play COD for the campaigns.
I will very swiftly go over the multiplayer then. It is Call of Duty as Call of Duty. It's fun to play, feels good. I think it's a little bit of a shame that Call of Duty mechanically is one of the best controlling shooters on the market, especially with controllers, and yet it's kind of wasted on dickheads running around like fucking Adderall ninjas or something. I don't know.
Can I just say I've never played a Call of Duty game?
Well, good.
That's totally fine.
Yeah.
No, but like
for what it's
I'm bringing it up because like when you say it has the best like shooting mechanics, like I know some people say like Destiny 2 has tight mechanics too, and like what makes Call of Duty's mechanics and everything the best out of other shooters?
When it comes to gameplay feel specifically for shooters, it comes down to specifically when you're using a controller, it comes down to aim assist. You don't want too much, you don't want too little. Does it have a little bit of snappiness? Is it too loose? The impact of the weapon against a foe, do you see them reacting to it? Does a gun feel powerful? The accuracy, the recoil. And I would say specifically for Cold War, this would objectively play better with a mouse and keyboard. But if you're not playing with a DualSense controller, I think you're really robbing yourself of the way that it's intended to be played, because it is fucking phenomenal with a DualSense. But to go back to your question, I guess it's hard to pinpoint, especially more so since I'm writing a game design doc on Doom Eternal, like why the gameplay loop works, and like it's Call of Duty is basically the antithesis to Doom. So it's basically, it all comes down to the gun feel. It's not so much the movement. It's not so much the enemies. They're kind of bland, like regular dudes with guns. It's mainly a recoil. The way the aim assist comes down to, like, I'm playing. I won't get into like the rest of my thoughts on it, but I'm playing Mafia right now, and the gunplay in there is complete dog shit. So it's gotten to the point where I've just jacked up the aim assist like crazy, because if the gunplay's not good, then just let me basically mitigate that part of the experience so I can enjoy the narrative, which is the good parts. Stiff movement is murder for shooters. Relying too much on lock-on is murder for shooters. Is a reticule just right? Does it have a proper recoil, rate of fire? I'd probably have to like make more bullet points and dive into these specifically, but that's basically what kind of defines gun feel that Call of Duty is basically nailed ever. I would say even prior to Modern Warfare over.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to ago. Like.
And now I feel old. 13. Oh no, it's completely valid. And in a game where you shoot dudes, having good shoot dudes gameplay is pretty fucking important.
The story is good.
That's why I'm here. Because I'm that weirdo that cares about Call of Duty lore. I'm that weirdo that will sit in the corner and yell, they're merging Black Ops and Modern Warfare. It's happening. But yeah, so I played the campaign. I beat it literally in 2 days. I binged like 5 hours on a Sunday, made it to the final level, went, wait, what? Like, even after doing so the one thing that Treyarch is doing with this Call of Duty, one thing which is completely speculatory. Woods would call me a nerd for saying that word, actually.
I think we would all call you nerds for saying that.
They're making everything past Black Ops 1 totally not canon anymore. And 2, they design this story in a way where it's very strange. You have a hub area. You can talk to your teammates. All of your teammates have backstories.
It is I wouldn't call it a hub area as much as a hub
there's like 2 extra squares on it. Like
you can unlock the gate.
Yeah.
It's not like the Doom Eternal one where it's like
you can move like 5 feet to the right.
No, it's not. But
it's a square room.
Yeah. But like I said, you can talk to your teammates. You can learn their backstories. One of your teammates lies to you 3 different times about his scar, and I know this because I got 2 different ones and talked to Jose, and he got a different one too. Or you got one of them. I don't know. But like, yeah.
There's 3 possible things he'll say.
It's crazy because one negative on it, because I legitimately love this campaign. I thought it was a lot of fun. You could tell that Treyarch wanted to go super deep. Like they wanted, like, so for reference, you can pick your gender in this game: female, male, or classified. Which is then used they them pronouns. But so I played a female character. Jose, you said you played. What did you play? Okay.
I played non-binary.
I know a friend who played male. I talked to them about there is dialogue options. The characters will speak to you in different what's the term? Different vocal. I had a character tell me something, the same line told to a male character, cadence differently since I was playing female. I had completely different lines of dialogue options that I could choose to, so I could talk to people. I had just what they were doing with this. You could tell that they wanted to do more. You could tell that they wanted to push this more and make this like a completely different Call of Duty campaign. But you could just see the edges where they just weren't given enough time to push. Hence why the campaign's only about like 6.5 hours. That includes doing the 2 side missions, which there is 2 side missions in this. There is, and you can do these crazy puzzles to like finish the side missions 100%, which I'm seeing. I just saw Mesa smile. The puzzles were they were really cool. They are different for everybody, so you can't look up how to solve them.
In a Call of Duty game.
Yes, there is, and they're legitimately well-made puzzles too. Like I got stumped for like literally 20 minutes. Like I was like trying to figure it out, and the thing is, they randomize them, so you can't Google how to like find the answer. You can Google how to do the puzzles, but you can't Google how to get your specific answer. So it's incredibly interesting because you don't have to do the puzzles, but if you do them, you can actually finish the side missions true. Because there's 2 different endings to the side missions. One if you do the puzzles and one if you don't. So like I said, there is just so much content in this. You could tell that the people at Treyarch wanted to do something more and they wanted to expand it, but it's very short. It ends very abruptly. There's a good ending. I mean, depends on what you call good. There's like a good ending, and then there's a completely terrible bad ending. And it's just like I think the last Call of Duty I played that I was so invested in the campaign was 2019's Modern Warfare, and then Advanced Warfare before that, not counting Kevin Spacey in it. Like,
it was fine then.
Yeah, not counting him. I thought it was really good. It's just what. Yeah,
now it feels better to kill him.
It makes me so like I wanted more after I beat Cold War. I beat it. I got the really good ending, and I just sat back and I was like, I want more of this. Like what they were doing, like the whole 80s spy aesthetic is kind of my jam. So I was like hella into it. Especially when they popped out the like giant 80s cell phone for the first time, and I just kind of lost it. I was just like, oh my god, they're like going like full on 80s. The campaign is mission based. Some of it is. So there's some missions where you do like 3 missions after one another, then you get sent to the main hub square. We're just going to call it the hub square, and you can pick them. And it's hard to describe it because it's not like other Call of Duty campaigns. Like the main like shell of it is a stereotypical Call of Duty campaign, but the inner workings of it is not. They want to do something completely different, and I wish that they were given more time to. I guess there's a rumor that they were not given enough. Like apparently they wanted to do a lot more, but they weren't given enough time, and they had to get it out before holiday. That was the rumor that happened after the game came out, which I'm kind of starting to believe after just playing it and just seeing the little threads of stuff that they wanted to do and the little details that they put into it. But Jose and I have differing opinions on it, but I personally liked what they were doing, and I'm just sad that they couldn't do what they wanted to do.
I think, to give my brief thoughts, in terms of design, it's whatever. It's a Call of Duty game. You point a gun at someone, they die in 2 shots. The divergences that I really enjoy in Call of Duty campaigns come from the narrative. They come from, and none of the other games have really come down to what Black Ops 2 did, which is making very subtle storyline divergences that you're not even necessarily cognizant of. Because in Black Ops 2, it can just be like, hey, if you fail to like get to this person in time, this character actually makes it to a later part of the game. It doesn't give you a fail state, and then that has ramifications later on. It's not necessarily like pick one or the other.
Was that they did it in a way where some of the choices were so fucking obtuse, where it was like, hey, if you hit something,
that's what I enjoy.
Speeder, then your partner gets a big scar and he hates you later. It's like, well, how would you? And it doesn't say that. You literally hit something, and the cutscene ends, and the dude has a scar down his face, and you're like, how? Well,
that's what I enjoy about it. But just to continue my thoughts, at least for Cold War, it's the third pillar of that, I guess, that I enjoy in Call of Duty campaigns. It's doing levels that aren't necessarily Rudy Tooty Shooty Magooty, where you're sneaking around a Russian base and you're collecting intel. There's like multiple ways you can. That's not really a spoiler, but you're trying to frame someone for something. There's like 10 different options you can go down to accomplish this.
It was a lot of fun because you could still feel the tension in it, because it's like, oh God, what do I do? And then, or you could. I remember there was an option where it's like, hey, there's this person here. He kind of betrayed us. Can you take him out while you're at it too? And taking that person out also unlocked a way for me to like frame said other person. And it's just the way that was so like just happened in this like really nice, smooth way. I was like, I like that. That's good.
Yeah, I guess my bigger takeaway for it is that obviously the multiplayer player base for Call of Duty doesn't give a flying fuck about the campaign. They're just going to play multiplayer, which I think that Call of Duty should cater to the strengths that it doesn't necessarily use and just like go completely fucking batshit insane with its campaigns. And I think that's probably why Cold War, I really don't care for Black Ops 3. That went a little bit way too removed from everything else. I don't give a fuck. Anyway, no. So like the whole appeal to me of Black Ops 1 and 2 is that 1 was actually a really good story. And then seeing the plot twist in there kind of recontextualizes a lot of stuff. It actually has a lot of character development for what's his name? Victor Reznov, especially since you have that connection from how he was your, I believe, sergeant in World at War.
Yeah, he was the dude that...
So he had a lot of character development. There's a good... Yeah. And so seeing like his progression and what he winds up devolving to, what he does to your main character in Black Ops and everything that happens from there is what defines Black Ops to me. Like the weird shit in Black Ops is that game. And then Black Ops 2 is mainly focused on those subtle divergences. And Cold War, I don't want to say it has none of that, but it does it at such the 11th hour that it's forced in. The story would literally have not made a difference whatsoever.
I'm not going to spoil the twist of Cold War, but they do hint at it extremely early on. And if you know...
But it's so inconsequential. But it's like,
if you know CIA history in the like 80s, you're going to fucking catch on what it is in a second. Like you're going to like know what the twist is, but like the way that they handle it and they tease it early on, I personally liked, because I was like, oh man, when is it going to happen? Like when are they going to unravel the whole twist? But I do agree with you. It does happen pretty late, and I wish they had done more of like quest before they do the twist or like after they do the twist is awesome. Like there's this really awesome quest right near the end. I say quest. There's like a mission right at the end that's really fucking fun and really like where totally you can diverge off the path and it's totally worth it. But I do agree that they brought it in a little bit later than I would have wanted them to, because if they had brought it in earlier, I would have loved to see what they would have done story-wise.
For what it's worth, I really enjoyed that exact mission too, because of the weird
like
stuff that happens.
That's when they delve
but just
deep
the
into weird
just the
Black Ops.
but just the
like,
overall.
That's when they go like balls to the wall with weird Black Ops stuff.
It's just it's not even so much that it's 11th hour, but that's definitely like a huge factor of it. It's just more so it's so unimportant to the overall story, where like it can recontextualize in the sense of I don't want to spoil it, but it doesn't really have anything of consequence to recontextualize anything. It's more like, whatever.
About the Black Ops games is how they and Modern Warfare 2019 and I believe Black Ops took this from the original Modern Warfare trilogy, is they make your main characters actual people. Like, it's not like you're playing like a blank slate like you are in Cold War, because you can name your character, you can pick their gender, pick if they were a part of MI6 or CIA or KGB. I just wish they kind of hint at characterizing your main character. Their name is Belle, no matter what. Like, you can pick their first and last name, and what I found really cool is how that name shows up at the bottom of each mission, but it like blacks it out like normal Call of Duties do. That was a cool touch. But it's just like, I wish they would have kept with that Black Ops staple, or with that recent just Call of Duty staple, which is characterizing your main character, not just throwing you on another blank slate.
I would have preferred it to be an actual authored character versus just another. I don't recall if they're completely silent, but
they are.
Just for the sake of this argument, I prefer fully authored characters to silent protagonists. And just one other point before we go ahead and wrap things up. Building off of Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2 definitely fulfilled on this promise, is that there's long-lasting consequences to what the main protagonist of Black Ops 1 went through, Alex Mason, with all the brainwashing. And I know, Sarah, you're going to bring up the little text pieces of lore, but I was just really hoping for something more substantial to happen.
With you. Like, I'm not going to spoil it, but there is a mission where it's brought up and it's actually contextualized, like, on screen. Like, if you've played Black Ops 1, they will reward you for that. There is a mission that's 100% nudge towards Black Ops 1 fans. But other than that, and other than like little hints, because there's a computer in the main square that you can find that has everybody's basically background, and it's brought up in Mason's background. But other than that, it's only brought up in that one mission and that little side thing, and that's it. And if this is meant to like wipe the Black Ops story slate clean and just have this be like Black Ops 2, they're really doing Mason an injustice, especially since they characterize him so well. And not just being like the character that you're playing as. Like, he has a personality. Him and Woods bro, like they're brosif is wonderful, and it's so fucking fun to like see them together and just be bros. And it just sucks that they didn't give Mason enough of the story like closure that he needed after the events of Black Ops 1, especially because all the shit that happens at the end of Black Ops. And with, like I mentioned earlier, with them now connecting the storylines of Modern Warfare and Black Ops, it just makes me wonder where they're going to go with the Modern Warfare redo that they're doing. Because let's be honest, that's going to be the next COD game. I would be utterly baffled if it's not, or like Modern Warfare 2 is. And it just interests me where they're taking it now. If Black Ops Cold War is indeed Black Ops 2, how is that going to translate to what happens in the next Infinity Ward one?
I think the only important question we need to be asking about in regards to Black Ops canon is it still canon for Woods to jump out of his wheelchair at the end of Black Ops 2 and play a guitar solo?
And if that's not canon, I don't know what is.
I didn't know that was an actual thing, but that's great.
Yeah, you can
is a real thing.
A music video in Black Ops 2 with Avenged Sevenfold with their zombie song, and Woods hops up out of his wheelchair and starts like shredding it.
I Jose, I have an opinion.
I mean,
Yes, sorry.
just real quick for the opinion. It is a little bit of impending dread playing Cold War, and knowing that within the timeline, if Black Ops 2 is still canon, that Woods is going to have his knees shotgun the fuck off.
I still don't believe it.
Go ahead, Blaine.
2 is canon anymore, but we can argue about that all day.
I don't know. Shotgun to the knees is kind of hard to unwrite. I have an opinion. I've been listening to this whole conversation. I mean, most of y'all probably know I don't really like Call of Duty. My biggest issue with it is that it always has been and always will be American military imperialist propaganda. I think that the people who make
You're absolutely right about that, by the way.
On the ground level are genuinely trying to do something, but the military uses it to recruit people, etc., etc. I've talked about it at length. Listening to this whole conversation about this game has basically made me go, man, I would love to see what like Treyarch could be doing, and even like by association like Raven could be doing if they weren't making Call of Duty every year.
Yeah, like
making something else.
The one thing
I would love to see like a first-person shooter with this kind of attempt at nuance, or if, like you said, how they clearly wouldn't given the time to do what they wanted to do with this, and so it just kind of became another Call of Duty game, and it was just whatever. Like, what I would love to see them be able to do, like their own IP and do something with that nuance to its full potential, and not just it's like the seminal release of the game that the military will use to recruit 14-year-olds.
I totally agree with that. And the last thing I'll say is that there was times I was playing Cold War, especially when it would send me back to the like main like hub area where I could talk to people, where I kind of didn't feel like I was playing a Call of Duty game, because you don't get that out of a Call of Duty game.
Yeah,
that's
what sounded interesting to me.
Yeah, like it's like they legitimately characterized these like people like they weren't nameless foot soldiers that fought with you. They were legitimate people, and they legitimately got backstories, like, and it was crazy to me, because you're completely right, Blaine. I want to see what Treyarch can do if they're given the ability to make another game, being able to take what they wanted to do in Cold War and put it towards something else. Because I feel like I enjoyed this game basically on the merit of my team wasn't just my squad. Like, I felt like they were actual people that had actual lives. And I was at my most fun when I was talking to them and hearing them talk about other people on the team. Like, I don't want to spoil it, and I'll kind of dance around this subject, but there is a female MI6 soldier or agent on your team. And I don't know if I was able to do this because I was playing as a female character, but I was able to ask her about your commanding officer. And I was asked, oh, why doesn't he talk about his scar? And she brought up, oh, that's the last, you don't talk to him about that. That's like the last thing you ever bring up with him. And then she went into this tangent where she goes, oh, he's not just about his scar. He's into other more like prominent things. You could tell that she was saying that he sleeps around. He just basically fucks everybody that moves. And there was then this scene that happened where she kind of let out a really annoyed sigh, and she went, Belle, listen to me, woman to woman, I would give him a wide berth. And the way that she said it and the way that it was just contextualized was just not something I expected out of a Call of Duty game. And I found it so much fun, because I was like, oh, you made the mistake. What?
Can I make a request? Find fictional men that are not
I
problematic.
can do that in like a second. But it's just like, going back on topic, the way like I didn't feel like I was playing a Call of Duty game at that point. Like the way that they were characterizing people and giving them backstories and giving them like sort of relationships with other members of your team was not Call of Duty. And I blame when you said like I want them to do something else, what they wanted to do with this. So do I, because now I want to see that. I want to see them given the time, given the chance to do something different. Because if what we saw here was just them like testing the waters or seeing if they could do it, I'm 100% down for it.
Oh, Blaine, for what it's worth, you mentioned Raven earlier, And to build off of being able to go do their own IP or whatever, Raven made Singularity, one of the best shooters of the 7th generation.
I've always heard that it's one of those, like, it's not that it's like the best game ever, but it's just one of the most, like, they went for something, it was interesting and it's fun and it's great, even if it's not like you know, it's not a game that's like, oh, that's the best fucking thing ever.
That is,
like, I've always heard it be like
the
it's one of those
best
games
way
that people need to play.
Describe it. Like, if you can get a hold of a copy, fucking play it. It is so much fun.
I want to.
Is Singularity the one that had that really batshit ending? Or am I thinking of a different game? I'm not going to spoil it.
You know what? I think
there are some batshit endings.
That might be right.
I think you might be thinking of Inversion, because I had the exact same mental ghosts through my brain as well.
Wait.
To be fair, Singularity has some batshit endings.
I know you can use your time powers to turn a man into a puddle of goo.
Yes, you can.
Like, you reverse age them until they're just fucking putty on the floor.
I will. Oh yeah. Also, to what you're saying, Blaine, you're completely correct about the recruitment and all that. But I will say that Treyarch, at least to me, always felt the most critical between the two, between Infinity Ward and
I will say
there's some things in Call of Duty games. There's like, oh, they okayed that. Like they left that in. Now no one's paying attention.
Yeah, like, because I remember playing Black Ops 1 and being like, this is still kind of that xenophobic, oh, the Russians are out to get you stuff, but at the same time, so much of that game is Mason being abused by multiple government agencies, whether it's the US or whether it's Russia or whether it's whoever.
I will 100% say about Cold War, there's some stuff in Cold War, and again, if you know 80s CIA history, it's not that hard to guess. There's some stuff that happens in Cold War where, again, I was like, oh, they were allowed to put that in there, or like they were allowed to like talk about that like that. Like there is some shit that goes on in Cold War.
Well, like some of the stuff I've heard about Modern Warfare 2019.
Well, I feel like even
like,
there's some stuff in Modern Warfare 2019.
Yeah. There's even, I want to say like 95%.
Oh, that's probably my fault. Sorry, my headphones open back.
What? Oh, no problem. There's even some stuff in like Modern Warfare 2 where 95% of it is like, yeah, fuck yeah, America, let's go shoot some terrorists, whatever. But then it has some stuff where the antagonist towards the point, like directly saying like, yeah, we're going to trick a bunch of fucking kids into joining the army. That's a little poignant for, I mean, like, you can't do 95% like, fuck yeah, let's do this, and then try to twist it around, but at least it's
one of the
not 100%
like,
there.
Hey, help us, please. Help us.
I mean,
before we end up making a game called Spec Ops: The Line 2.
I think that's gonna about do it for tonight. T-Man, you want to go ahead and give a shout out to all your stuff and whatnot?
My podcast is called Make Me a Gamer. You can find that Twitter. It's at Make Me a Podcast. And my writings are at T-Man Writes, and you can find me at T-Man Plays Games.
Thank you.
Awesome. You've been an amazing guest, and you're always more than welcome back on here.
Thank you for coming.
I am very interested in seeing you through on your Wolfenstein journey, and we'll find out exactly what kind of person you are after you play Young Blood.
Really, really quick, I will say, again, January 23rd, Blaine and I are very, very lucky and honored to be a part of a streaming marathon for the Trevor project. We are raising money with the SDGC team, and we will be a part of the Souls block. I will be heading it up at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time to 12. I will be playing Demons Souls. It's gonna be a disaster, but come anyway. There's me, Blaine. There's a bunch of other people involved, and you can come help us raise our goal of $10,000, which I totally know that we can make. I have the faith in us. Blaine, is there anything you want to add about it?
No, Sarah pretty much covered it. Yeah, we're gonna be doing it's an all day thing. I think I want to say either literally till midnight or like just till late at night, like maybe 10 p.m. But either way, it's an all day thing. if you can donate and be a part of it that way, that's fantastic. If you can't, and you just want to watch and spread the word, that's fine too. I'm really looking forward to it. I've been wanting to do something else related to a charity since the big charity stream I did with some friends of mine. And that being said, I still owe a either 24-hour or just because I made a promise that if we raised a certain amount of money, I would play Pathologic 2 on stream until I can't play it anymore. Either I beat it or I die so many times that it's unbeatable.
Jeez.
I am going to probably have to change that to like just some kind of arbitrary time limit as well. But that is not what this is. That is not going to be like this thing. I still have to. But you can find me on Twitter at @morbidcuriousty. It's basically morbid curiosity but misspelled, and you can see it somewhere, I'm sure, because Jose is good about that shit. Yeah, I used to drop a lot of hot takes. I still kind of do, but most of the time I try to just make some more nuanced discussions and retweet what needs to be retweeted. The current big thought is, for the love of God, cis and even some trans people, please stop fucking promoting gender bends. They're sexist and normalize a lot of shitty things, and I now have to make a whole video on it because I couldn't get into 2021 without seeing it on the first day.
All right. I am glad that you're the official fifth member, Blaine. It's good to have you.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday, by the way.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Corey, where can people find you?
Wait, what?
Aside from in the
you're
vent.
Funny. No, you've been kind of sus lately. I think it's you. They can find me pretty much on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, as Celtic Scribe. So I stream Mondays and Tuesdays. Mondays at 4 p.m. Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Come watch me. We write, we world build, and we play some fun story-driven and horror games as well. So,
awesome.
Hi,
Mesa. Where can people
find
find
me on
you?
Twitter at @Remless. I tweet some often, and every once in a while I'll stream from my YouTube account, which is Video Game Rem. I have a 4-year-old playthrough of SMT3 Nocturne that I'm going through, so you can catch up if you want. I wouldn't.
That's a hell of a glowing recommendation right there.
Oh, absolutely, I wouldn't.
would recommend it.
You'd be a great car salesman.
But yeah, I interact lightly, and when I do, I it's pretty good. I think, at least I hype myself up a little bit. I think I got some pretty good taste.
I concur. All right, I guess that leaves me. If you Google the Seth Rokage, you'll find me on literally everything. There's descriptions on every single one of my social outputs. As for what I'm up to right now, there's this podcast, which is typically on Saturdays at 6:30 p.m. PST. Currently working on a very big Doom Eternal game design doc. It's currently at 15 pages. Mm-hmm. I'm debating if I want to put the article up before I get the full video out, because that's going to take a week or two, just because I'm already working full time. There's just something I do on the side. But follow me on Twitter if you want to stay up to date with everything I do. I make a lot of puns. I make a lot of hot takes. I eat
Gross.
a lot of ranch.
Gross.
Yeah, all the good stuff in life.
I forgot to give my socials. I forgot that. My Twitter is at Sarah of Mars. You can see it on my thing. I have a blog. It's out here in this open space.blogger.com. I'm currently working on my top 5 stories and video games of 2020, which I'm very excited to write the list because there's a lot of great stories I was really invested in. If you go on my Twitter, you can see me unboxing. You can't see me if you're listening, but you can see me unboxing this full copy of the H.R. Geiger inspired game Darkseid 2. I have taken out all the advertisements, all of everything from like 1995, and it was a lot of fun. And I'm also going to be doing I'm working on an essay right now for my blog, titled "What Silent Hill Can Learn About Psychological Horror from Games Like Hellblade," and I'm working on that right now, and I'm very excited about it. Just started up on it again after 3 months because I am very terrible at working on big essays. So look out for that. Hopefully within the next month and a half, I will have that done because it is a chungus. It is very big. It is very big.
Big essays are very daunting. I'm sure.
I will. I promise. I might send you like an early draft on it.
Oh shit.
But yeah, just go ahead and keep your eye on the horizon for everyone's output over here. My video essay I don't want to give a timeline.
Right?
I'm fucking busy as shit. You can find podcast content on a near daily basis over on YouTube. The majority of those views come from unsubscribed people, so at least I know people are clicking on my links whenever I post everywhere. But subscribing would also be quite
What
nice.
do you got to lose? It's free. It's free to subscribe.
Yeah. Any last words from anyone?
Well, it's free to follow, not to subscribe.
Exactly.
No, I mean on YouTube. It's free to subscribe.
Oh yeah, no, on YouTube.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I was like, wait a minute. Are we doing a hey kids,
Free to
take the green
subscribe.
paper out of your parent's wallet and go to www.twitch.com
Hell yeah.
or .tv.
Yeah.
All right.
I never got
Any
to
closing comments
say
by
my
anyone?
Conspiracy theory, but I won't go into it or anything. I will just drop this bomb on everybody, and then we can talk about it later.
Oh no.
But my conspiracy theory
Oh no.
is actually that Silent Hills was never actually canceled.
That's not a conspiracy theory, buddy. That's been fucking for like 4 years.
That's a
All right.
want
We'll
Silent Hill
save
to
it for
be
next
canceled,
time.
Please, just let
You
me
know-
off this ride.
Just let it
You know-
die.
You know, the whole Silent Hills was never real.
PT was never real. We all collectively thought
All
about
right.
it.
But it was just,
That's the end of this episode, everybody.
I'm leaving.
Goodbye.
I'm out.
Yeah.
It was just a shit post.
We love